Went to the store for Pop. Couldn't find hide nor hair. Just wasn't there. Don't you know? Down streetcars, quiet, watching, to see out and go with anyone. Walking by tunes that rests the ones dead in winter. Well, you sure can't plant 'em then. Used to scare the hell out of me. Still does. Out early, boating on the pond. Mist coming off of the water. Sight melting out like smoke extinguishing. I've been here before, with my lines in waiting for the day when I'll be without my blanket Beltway. The law's flashing reds bleeding out of the hole in his side. His blood being all he was left to say. Yeah, he's a gone all right. Just sitting as stiff as a board. When I was little, my Uncle Amos let me help him with roofing jobs. It made me feel big and worth something. He died by falling in an acid pool for stripping bark from trees. By the time they drained the pool, he was cooked. We used to take the old roofing off before putting on new. When they tried to take his clothes off, everything came with it. So they had to bury Amos in his old roofing. That was all that was left of the house. He died very late at night, between dreams. Miesa, he parked in the dock by the harbor. And the sea goes out, don't it? It never comes back the same. Nope. It just don't. Ain't no whys about it. Hi! I! And nature looks in its mirror, and in silence, listening, an arena of ears redeems it from meaninglessness. And outside of history and forever new, I! And spinning an ocean of tangent sparks, I! And by language embellished, I. Introducing the nettle family and fruit of the loom, pulp tall pea pods by which debts were resigned with sugar instead of oakum. Barty Jillpot, that old scurry-vague spigot-sucker, rim-racked her debut and retired to stud, a yapster who swanked all his humping bluey in the raz. In fact, it was said in the Evening Vergupta Papyrus that they did not even send her breasts out for development no matter what the fashion was in New York. Having just reached the position of a middle-aged potato, the new moon, threadbare, renewed its memory by eating the broth of a complex plot. As the tiny cone of sand, with its needle leaves and dark purple amarillo, restated what has never been said. If you stare like a fish, death is a white tie. Ah, mind adrift, a penny that does not spin, floaters in the snow. Asparagus, with a bag of peanuts, lands between the furrows, creating a closed ring world without end. Rollick writhe on a torn skirt, curling its huge wave, begetting mobs of more, and sleeping inside perpetual sheets of laughter, flights of llamas in the light, saturated the suppressed smoke with cultic rocks called pious plightwakes, inscribed with Donzibish dovestosh in a setting of cap-tally footgun moleskin squatter, surrounded by a flower that never fades, the love lies leaving. Doormat, lay the dust, sugarcoat. He buffed his stuff with a well-greased lock of hair emerging from his eye, do you know what I mean? Space between, difference between, here and there, a quantity of quick time that has been or ever will be. After, large commas notwithstanding. Feeling down in the trench? Had your nose in iron parenthesis for 31 days of late loan behind? Add zest by aging. 5:46 p.m., 5:47 p.m. as explanation or comment within a complete sentence. Tramping the cold cuts out of his joints as a whiskerondo molly dock, all white ants in the billy have, he told of a graying pleating of lace, who pined for her trees like a sun-dried cigarette butt, praying for the aphrodisiac virtues of the sweet potato, crying out, a wet stern and still no fish? Bungle the yarrow and turf, and you will wait through the gull for a pale yellow rind. Meanwhile, as the nightshade in stockings piqued her hop by steeping as the brewer's fizzle bruised the bed, a limp hammock gave gaping kisses to the Red Cross in the midst of waves made by a submarine's periscope, encircling a cherry hog pop shawl with castor and tower as Hawk does. And she, casting sheep's eyes in an effort to catch the elusive Winnipeg winnow with a goose hello, recited her recipe, a bit of hollow, a mouth of lips, a pinch of chaff fan with wings, 2 deep-toned cheeks shaped like a cup, and another gourmet is disemboweled while wearing feet for children's stockings, all the while singing. Pinoak Saltus Azalea Cumber Pie. Pre-named Clink Pokiaddle de Novo Vipus Ultra. Andante. Ah me. In key ad o.
Shellac, behemoth, drub, baseborn, ot, gasjaw. Dinge whiffle, thrash suds mope. Who's gal sassy? Spreehead swifted cockney sims last bucket. Stigmata acid, it asked as last. Yes, I, dictus roustabout. Gawk, yahoo, gov, scad, souse, mint, hump, jag, turk, empsmear, gelt, uddles, clover, forlorn. In no al, sali, I, buck, alia, tus, oakpin. Woe begone, lithe, teeter, flinch, flare up, spume, gold brick, loaf, bilge, bedeck, lug. Foregather, titanic quaver. Yerk ilk, tick over, and tacit eye. Yeast, land-based askance, reckon, outcomer. Ka-oo, ka-er, ka-ow, ka-sass. Sit fast. At last. At last.
Hatch the coal snivet! Hatch the coal snivet! Carburetor cuts off air and clog hinder stroke baffles the exhaust. Silent flute fired sleeper's nostrils. Wet shoes, crushed retorts, damp squashes, and all within metrical feet. And lastly, a mum chance was hanged for pronouncing the silent P in the word swimming. Gaze the Gazette!
Need extra.
Attached to the floor of the mouth, a narrow flame under the laces of a shoe, base to snarl, has the malt, Pratt cheats, and spills the beans. In short, the tongue walks where the teeth are chicken. Or some would say. Plaited reef points, carelessly hanging beneath the furled, cramp words enough to puzzle and bite carpets for a wigging. Like Ehringlaschlachkeep gave his inane no held in Asia Minor, as brief bursts came loose among the beginning where meandrous time edges. Or, put more simply, money wrench, bony parts, holding the entrance with melted butter to conceal the baldness of egg whites that waterproofed the North Pole, saw scarlet runners on cushions soaked with ink, while the flexible snouted Luftwaffe lived on liquids for picking pigs instead of raspberries in white frost on the grass. Through a small opening, as stars through a cloud, an eagle, plunging to find an ocean not too deep for his plummet, called out, "Hey, show off!" It's a gentleman's companion anyway. And a mighty blouse corrupting the color yellow, a loose pavement stone crashing in the bud, like diamond sharks, filling cavities with a belly full of marrow pudding. Hey, show off! Yes, they say the cold pay attention, though there is calmness and loss. Even the chutney bit in spring travels along, disguised as an alloy of dental filling for a sandwich of breathing fins. His lips suddenly opened, revealing a clutch of eggs, brooding over the tail of a drink, a motor vehicle swimming on the tongue. And Jack, you, peakage, draw off the verbals, cut capers on a trench, amputate the mahogany. He sported his oak to make a die, leave the body without turning. Round the stone and grind time. Lister, knack, backing, sack plus splayed. Look! The tongue is hinged in the middle so one can talk with both ends. With anvil far back on night came the breaded bone of Galilee, and straight around the corner he did the briny, the mazy, and the rose on ocean dust. And still the millstone left a very deep hollow above his collarbone. For the smith always had a spark in his throat, and anything too deep made the air blue in small tufts for the light of the scorched. Midwits? Why I die in you? Lad gone, he gloss slip. Baneful thistle, he bladder gulch, and built a fair, spud ample smirch, like an or a t, or an oo. I dine you, ostend mordant, o built on munch. A gaw go be, a do, ta. Italy, give me little tipper. Lemon hilt, sap fish, lull, whist, sit, eggs. 3 white tapes on the jean collar, decry, rescind, verse forswear, and many based. See mollusk prattle, for the eyes peep with hops, stooping, natty whoop at their manatee pickaroons, for a bat stick piece up wall cooled the card downy. And he in wagony jawbation was all waving in the sills, trancing the mashed blackstrap, because Bellis popped with a pale flipper of Micronesian zombie dad. As a pot hook and tungsten of time, with scanned arc to Vimbrio game said fat spadoosh, Yarum zings. And back chat chucker ponts, pushing in the bud, with bow pit head mine as swatchel flannerton vacant. Off the deep end was Orphic and a bit of blue and out of skin. See? Stopper. On the rough pack roll about make a welter flam. Low cinder, vast Moravian nuka. He'd boy. His seg hill pseudopole gifts 10 moon. Bust no skull, whistle ant. Bidwits. Wag gone, he gloss slip. Ebb on her tally tanged dew. And you? Da and I, her kids on lip gloss, chaga, I'll chop hop, af chop chop, el air. On a, b, go, o, and ch. Such adieu. By language embellished I, outside of history and forever new. I and you redeemed it from meaninglessness. I and you, an arena of ears, listening in silence, its mirror. And now it, an ocean spinning out, and I and you. Bye.